Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, February 14th, and we are looking at Window Trader's market profile. SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. Turned out to be a very annoying day. Let me preface this first by saying I don't blame anybody but myself. Never did, never will. But it doesn't mean I don't get frustrated at certain things. I was having a very decent, a decent day. We've seen the market pretty well, and then the crap hit the fan in I period with that basically that bogus. Whether he said it, the Ukrainian president, whether our media took it out of context, it doesn't matter. Whether it's fake news, he said it. It's frustrating and annoying because it has a deep effect on the markets. And unfortunately, I was long because in I period, I thought we were looking for an afternoon pullback. I thought we were actually going to go and try to get the overnight high at some point once sellers had failed early in the morning, and ended up giving my whole day back and a bunch more. Now, again, that's my fault. I initially added an I, then I took it, and then when it flushed, I took it off. I wasn't going to hold it. We ended up coming back. Look, this kind of proves that we had the day read pretty well, because after we saw that was all BS, all we did was take some time to take it back and then go back up to where we were. We only end 8 wide, so the high and the low are the only things we have. Same with Qs. Russell ends 10 wide. My trades, and I didn't do anything after that trade, and I just shut it down. So I was having a pretty good morning and early afternoon. I was long in A period against yesterday's low the first time, which paid the 438 calls. Then in B period, once we took out A's low and any kind of push up, I was scalping shorts. The 440s actually got above the opening in B. As soon as it came back below the opening, I actually took a nice 50 put play. So I got paid very nicely in B. So again, good start to the day. Then in D period, it looked like they were going to pop the top. So I took a call play, and it did that above C's high, 438s. Things going very well. No tempo in G. Took a short, 444 puts. Didn't do it in H, and I should have, but I didn't. And I told the room, look, clear and simple. B, C pushing down. They're not getting much for their effort. So what's the shorts going to do? They're going to give it up. Shorts gave it up in D. Now what happens? Shorts cover, and now the market starts getting too long. E, F, G, H. I'm like, well, if they don't get much, and for my money's worth, they wanted to get at least the overnight and possibly test the top of the lower distribution, they'll give it up. Now, one play I should have taken was a break of G for a short. But that doesn't mean I still wouldn't have looked for a long in I, because I thought all this was going to be some weak longs getting out. And I was doing pretty well in I. Scalping small longs, and finally it pushed down the value low. I'm like, okay, this is where I want to take a bigger play. Took the bigger play, and then that headline, before I knew it came out, the market flushed more. I'm like, well, I think this is a little overdone. I added, and before you knew it, boom, in my face, and gave back my entire day and a bunch more. Took it off, and again, I said, that's it, I'm not trading. I'm just going to watch this and see what it wants to do. And obviously, we took back the single prints and took everything else back. So frustrating, absolutely. But what are you going to do? Move on to tomorrow. Destinations for tomorrow. We have today's high at 441.60, and then you should have everything from Friday that I gave you with the single prints and stuff above. For the downside, we have today's low, 435.34. So I can tell you this much, we have a $6 plus range and nothing to lean on, right? So we should get some major chop inside of there unless we gap higher or lower tomorrow. Below that, we have 431.83 pullback from January 28th, 427.82 daily low, 427.15 daily low, 426.03 afternoon pullback low from the 24th of January, and 420.76 monthly low, and so far yearly low. And I will not be giving those again, so please write them down. And the reason I was comfortable taking that long in I, because they tried in B and C. We couldn't even get nowhere near the overnight low. And by the way, this is a very rare time we didn't get the overnight high or low. We got the IB high and low. In fact, we got the IB low twice. But we didn't get either overnight. Just missed the overnight low by 14 cents. And that's another reason I took that long off, because I'm like, if they get that, we have a price vacuum down below. So I wasn't going to take the chance. But prior to that happening, that's why I thought, we couldn't get the overnight low. I really thought we were going to go get the overnight high. I thought we'd pull back, shake out weak longs. Value also. It was overlapping the low, but when I started coming in, it was barely overlapping the low. I'm like, okay, this is a beautiful opportunity. You take the long, it goes back up to POC, and then it starts making its way upwards and pulls value with it to get it unchanged. One tweet sends that all out the window. Anyway, now let's get to the chart quickly. The bottom line is this, though, also. Keep in mind, sellers are still in control. All my time frames are down now as far as I'm concerned. Monthly is down. Weekly came out of it. Now, I know we closed back inside of last week's range, but we took out last week's low by $3.60. I am now down in the weekly. This isn't just stretching it. Now buyers have to prove themselves. So to me, the weekly is down. Okay? So monthly down, weekly down, and the daily is certainly down. And we closed below the 200-day moving average. Okay? So that's 2 days in a row now. Remember we did it here, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days in a row, or 6 days before we finally popped. Well, wow, now we're below it for 2 days again. We're also inside of this range again, this 4 or 5 day balance. We have a triple top. So sellers in the bigger picture are still in control. Now it remains to be seen what they can do with it. Hope you had a good day trading. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to the channel. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.